flower? Is it flower?
Just before everything, you can touch, you can see, do what you want to do. Now you can touch, Harry.
Hello, human citizen belonging to a global deviance. Welcome to our wedding. I invite you to take your seat and discover the world that belongs to us. Look, touch, interpret, become a participant in this story that is, quite simply, ours. My central theme is love. My initial intention was to understand and explore more intimately what love represents for me. At the beginning of Materialization, I sought a more authentic way to integrate the animal embodied by my character. I chose the feather as the starting point of a textile investigation. I experimented with several transformation methods, some less compelling due to finishes that felt too cheap or overly costume-like, others more stimulating visually and texturally. However, I quickly realized that producing this full texture was impossible within the time constraints. I therefore pursued my research across various techniques and materials: pampas grass, plastic, sublimation, dyeing, felting, surface construction, and small-scale experiments. A visual echo of the feather continued to reappear throughout the process. I wanted to begin with a base material crinoline while imagining covering the entire structure with the feather-based texture I envisioned. Eventually, I had to accept that another path was necessary. Alongside this textile exploration, I developed a silhouette research journal, searching for creative and unconventional forms using modeling clay. Letting my mind switch offline, I allowed my hands to lead. From these volumes, I produced sketches simplified in pen, others in charcoal. I then translated these drawings into 3D using CL3D. Once the looks were generated, I photographed each one from multiple angles, returned them to 2D with tracing paper, and began building the final designs. As is my habit, I immersed myself in documentaries on ravens, on the history of colonization in my country, and on artists who shaped my youth. Certain elements from early Quebecois settlers also influenced my shapes, notably textile bands supporting lead coverings, based on a silhouette from my CL3D experiments. I printed a pattern and built a crinoline structure. From the beginning, netting has been a recurring material in my textile research. I consider nets a substance deeply embedded in my community. I had sourced a massive industrial net originally used to transport food. However, after the first critique, I replaced these colorful nets with a textile transform through making inspired by spouting techniques. The critique was not the easiest to receive, but it proved valuable in reshaping how I visualize a garment. After this, I wanted to claim the final look more personally and refine the image I wished to present, that of love and marriage, a marriage between us, celebrating the love of a place, a person, a moment. Guided by the advice of a little bird, I reinterpreted my look through the lens of a future night I had hoped to experience, dismantling the mental barriers preventing me from moving forward. A return to the roots, never forgetting where we come from. I destroyed what was meant to be, cooked, transforming it into the bridal gown I was truly creating. In a spontaneous impulse, I took my knife, cut through the structure, and dyed the piece with alcohol. During the final days and hours, I took the time to analyze my project and refine its style. Through this sequence of blurred visions, identity searching, and reflections on the diversity of love, we encounter a character, a symbol of love and hatred. tears and joy. And in that suspended moment, before the work could fully reveal itself, a shout rose within me, a raw, unfiltered vibration echoing through fabric, structure, and memory. It was not a scream of fear, nor of anger, but the necessary rupture that allows a new form to emerge. A shout that tears open the seams of expectation. A shout that unmakes the body, only to remake it in truth. It is in this cry, silent or deafening, that I realized the garment was no longer just an object. It had become a pulse, a vibration, a body of its own. A promise of what could be born once all constraints finally collapse. A relationship waiting to be explored. And from this emerges a piece of resistance. The message rising from my gut through this imagined wedding dress and ceremony is simple. Be free to be yourself. Be free to become who you wish to be. Be free to shout, to sing, to dance. The gaze of strangers will become nothing but smiles within your story. You may now kiss the bride.